I'm Erica Chavarria.
And I'm Jessica Nichols.
And we are coming to you live today from David's Natural Market.
In beautiful, somewhat not very sunny Columbia today.
Very true. If you haven't been to David's Natural Market, I really encourage you to do so. They have amazing, amazing soups, which I get every day for lunch.
And they have amazing sandwiches. I personally like their avocado vegan BLT. It's to die for.
And all of their produce is fresh, and we encourage you to frequent our family-owned businesses here in Columbia, Maryland. So absolutely come when you can. So we are coming to you today to just have a little chat. This is our first Lit Talk Tuesday with Erica and Jessica, and we are very excited to be here today. So first, Jessica, how was your day today, Jessica?
My day was amazing. Absolutely amazing. We started macroeconomics. It's actually a lot of fun. And we did an event where some of my students had to wrap gifts, and we are going to deliver them to a family in need. So super exciting day. I'm so pumped for this.
How was your day? My day was actually really good. My students are doing these stations activities, and they're wrapping up, and they're just doing some really great work. And you get up in the morning, and it's like, oh, I gotta get out of bed. It's dark out, and it's like, you get to work, and then it's the students, and the students are what make the day happen.
Oh, absolutely.
For real. I'm so fortunate to have my students. I love them a lot.
Well, speaking of really fortunate, I got to see on your Facebook page that you went to an extremely exciting event this past weekend. Let's tell all of our viewers about it.
So I actually had the fortunate opportunity to be invited to the Public Education Forum 2020. It was held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is actually where I went to undergrad. I went to University of Pittsburgh, so it was nice to be back. And it was really an amazing experience. And I kept saying that the best part of the whole thing was not necessarily the candidates for president being there, but the power in the room of the organizations, the grassroots community, racial and social justice organizations that have been working on public education and all of the issues for years. And this was like the culmination of all of that really hard work. And so to see the power in that room was amazing. And the questions, they really held those political candidates to the fire and are going to be holding them accountable. And we know the power of education in this current presidential election, because not only did the candidates agree to come to a public forum solely on education, but they also faced tough questions. And the questions were by students and educators and community members. It was absolutely amazing. So I was really fortunate to be invited to be there. It was just to have the power in that room of activists that I've been working with for so many years, and to see all that come together was amazing.
Wow. So if you just had to pick one memorable moment, what was your most memorable moment of the entire event?
Oh, there were so many. To be honest, it was definitely the youth. There was one particular gentleman from Baltimore City who was speaking, a student of one of the schools there, and he got up with no fear, and he just talked about how he knows for a fact that his school doesn't get proper funding. He demanded that we have a system of education that's equitable. He was not afraid to get up in front of hundreds of people and really talk about what he's experienced as a student and what he knows he deserves as a student. There was another young student who got up and asked the candidates, why don't I have a library in my school? And knows that we have inequitable funding, and public education is not equal. And so to see the youth really get up and speak and have that courage to demand of presidential candidates that they have equitable funding for education, and to name the issues that are important to them as lived experiences was so amazing. So I think that would, to me, would be the memorable moment.
Wow, that sounds like it was amazing. And it highlights a thing that both you and I know, being that we both teach in high school, is that high schoolers really do know how to speak truth to power. They see what's happening in their community. They're able to voice those things, and they're able to bring them in front of not just us as teachers, but it's beautiful to see them bring those in front of our amazing want-to-be elected officials, right? And so that brings me to a thing that has been really close to you and I in our campaign, and that is the idea of bringing those voices in as we begin to bargain for the common good. And so I was wondering if you could take a second and just let's talk a little bit about what bargaining for the common good is and how we can tap into our amazing community here in Howard County, who probably one of the most pro-education communities in the entire country. How can we tap into that to help strengthen our ties with the community and help strengthen our bonds and to help strengthen our contracts?
Definitely. So I'll talk a little bit about bargaining for the common good, but and I know you have tons of experience with budget and bargaining, so I'm going to let you talk about that. But bargaining for the common good, this is one of the main things of what I think we can bring and our strength to bring to Howard County. And that is our networks and our partnerships and our outreach to the community groups. We know that contracts can be developed around what the community wants to see. And if we have all of the community coming together and all of the stakeholders in education, because education is not just educators, education, the stakeholders. We have community members, we have organizations and grassroots organizations, we have parents, we have guardians, we have, of course, educators and students and youth that should all be involved in the decision making, and those things can be bargained in a contract. Contract doesn't just have to be about salary and benefits, which of course we want to make sure we're bargaining for salary and contracts, but salary and benefits. But when you bargain for the common good, you really bring in what the community wants to see. So you can look at things like making sure that we're putting money and contract language in for restorative justice, for things like understanding that we can bring in ethnic studies as a graduation requirement, right? So there are so many things that we can do with the community that would be bargained at the bargaining table to make sure that our community understands that they have a voice in what we are developing for the best success of our students and for our educators, for the best working environment and learning environment possible. So that's kind of what and also, just to mention, Montgomery County Education Association and the Prince George's Education Association, Educators Association, are in the midst of bargaining for the common good. Prince George's County has done it in the past. MCEA is in the midst of it right now, and I've seen pictures, and it's amazing what I've seen. The amount of members that are members and community members that are coming in to work together.
And I feel like that's extremely exciting, and it's extremely important. The one thing that we can take away from every single issue that we have in front of the Board of Education is that our community really cares, and they really want to be engaged. And when we involve the community members, and not just people who live in Howard County, but also our students, our community justice organizations, we end up having a stronger school system, we end up having a stronger contract, and we also end up having better and better ties for our children with the greater community around them. I see that it's nothing but a win-win, and the fact that two of the largest counties in the state of Maryland are currently doing that, and the fact that we both have ties with both of those counties, we can easily access those resources so that as we start to segue into bargaining for the common good, we're not just making something up as we go along.
Right.
We will have tried and true advice and guidance as we go to bargain for the common good. I'm extremely excited about this, and I can't wait to bring this to Howard County.
Me too, absolutely. And another thing that we want to make sure that we're doing, and I've worked really closely with educators from across the country, particularly with educators in the United Teachers of Los Angeles, as well as some teachers from St. Paul, Minnesota. And I really had conversations with those educators about how they got that process started, and a lot of it had to do with listening. We have to take time to listen to the community, to understand what the needs are of the community, and not that we're telling them what they need, but that we're asking about what the community needs. So we would definitely start with outreach, listening. We want to be able to listen to what our community stakeholders have to say about what they would like to see, so that we're making sure that we incorporate true voice into what we're bargaining for. So, can you tell us a little bit about what is one thing that you would like to see negotiated?
Wow. One thing that I would like to see negotiated. I definitely, beyond salary and beyond benefits, one thing that I would like to see negotiated is bringing in requirements for for minority studies. As you know, I was a minority studies teacher. I taught African American studies, and remember we were working on trying to get a hybrid Latin American studies class at Wild Lake High School, and that was going to be extremely fun. But one thing that I would like to see is I would like to see a greater commitment to minority studies and ethnic studies. You know, in some of our spaces we just don't have that. Now there are standalone programs that Howard County does extremely well. My daughter has benefited from one of those programs. She does Unheard Perspectives. It is amazing to do it every single year where the kids get to self-select to delve into the unheard perspectives of African American innovators.
Wow.
However, that's a self-selection process, and so the reach isn't as large as, of course, that would be one that young people would need to take so that they can have a better understanding of the world around them. We're trying to educate people for the world around them. We don't know where our kids are going to end up, and our kids end up in fabulous places. But I believe that it hurts them to not have ethnic studies before they leave.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, that was one of the things that I also worked with some educators out in Texas, and that was one of the things that they were able to bargain for the common good was mandating ethnic studies as a graduation requirement, especially because we know that our county is super focused right now on equity. We've heard that call from the superintendent, we've heard that call from the Board of Education. We want to make sure that we are truly instituting equity, and definitely equity is something that we should strive for. One of the ways that we can do that is by implementing different ethnic studies programs, and not only ethnic studies standalone, but also making sure that our curriculum is culturally responsive, culturally relevant, so that it's interwoven into what we already teach, to make sure that we're teaching accurately, right? And so I know that, again, like you were saying, we have these courses that are electives, but taking ethnic studies benefits all students. It doesn't just benefit a few. It benefits all students in order to really understand true perspectives and different perspectives of our world and of the students that we teach, right? So I agree with you 100%, definitely. Is there anything else that you would think that would be important for us to focus on?
Well, as I think of that, do you have an idea? Because I'm trying to think of all the many different things. It's just all coming to me.
So I think one of the things that I think is definitely important is that I know the county has been really focused on trying to push restorative justice. We need to make sure that we are there are so many levels to restorative justice. It's not just circles. It's not just, an alternative to discipline. That's not what it is at all. It's really changing a culture. And so there's so many things that we can be doing that are really the practices that create a restorative culture that we could be putting into the contract. And so making sure that we have, that we are looking at all of our policies, making sure that our policies come from a racial justice and a social justice lens, making sure that we have a welcoming environment for all students in all buildings. And so I would be I'm really super excited to hear from the community about what types of restorative practices they would like to see incorporated into an actual contract, because it is possible. It's been done all over the country, and it's something that we can do. We also need to make sure that our budget reflects that. So we can't just say that we believe in something. We need to make sure that we're fighting for a budget, both within our own association. So our own budget should reflect that as a priority, but also pushing for a budget from the school system that reflects the priorities and values that we say we believe in. If we can have a lovely strategic plan, and it be the most wonderful strategic plan on the planet, but we need to make sure that our budget is reflective of what we say we believe in. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that in looking at our current budget, there are definitely spaces in which we can tweak some things and move some things so that we are making sure that we are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. We definitely need to make sure that our dollars are supporting our initiatives. And so, absolutely, I love budgets. So I am extremely excited about jumping in and getting that particular work done.
Right.
So,
and I'm excited for you to do that too, because I don't particularly like budgets. I love the bigger picture, and then I'm so excited to work with you, who has that extra special, incredible knowledge of budgets, and I know that would be a great way that we can work together, molding and blending our expertise. And I'm super excited to work with you in budget and learn from you, because there's I always have room to grow, and I have room to learn, and I have so much to learn from you, and vice versa. So, what is something that you would include in the budget if we were looking at it?
Well, definitely one thing that I would include in the budget is greater amount of training. I don't think that we put enough money into truly training people as to how do we implement these particular initiatives, especially restorative justice.
Absolutely.
Now, we do have, and I will say that we've had some pullouts where there have been groups that have gone to learn a piece here and a piece there, but we have not put it in our budget to make it holistic. And so inevitably what happens is it doesn't get implemented with the type of integrity that needs to happen so that we can negate some of the issues that we're seeing. And we see the proof is in the pudding. We see that even though our suspension and expulsion numbers have decreased, there's still a disparity by race, by farms, by special education. And so when we see that evidence and we look at our budget, we know that our budget isn't matching what we are saying that it's supposed to match. So definitely that's one thing that I would want to see in our budget is a greater commitment to making sure that everyone is on the same page and fully understands what restorative practices are. They are beautiful and wonderfully implemented. Wow, and I'm especially excited for you to be our next president because you have been so extensively trained. You are a trainer, and I think that if there's anyone who can take our disparate visions and combine them for the betterment of our county and our students, it's you.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate that, and I think that I am so thankful to have your passion and your support on that. And I know that I've watched you as an educator, and I know that even without official training, you are a restorative educator, and so you can bring that as a vice president. You have that practice. You've done that practice. It's not just enough to talk about it. It's living that. You live as a restorative human being, as a restorative educator, and I agree. I think definitely we need professional learning spaces. We as a union have the opportunity to take the lead. It is in our responsibility to take the lead on the things that we know work and we know are beneficial to our entire community. And so I agree to develop professional learning opportunities to make sure that it doesn't feel like a burden, another thing that we're throwing at educators, but that's something that we can truly believe in that really does make our learning environment a more positive one, a better one. It's not a burden, it's really a benefit to all. And so I'm super excited to work with you on that. And I cannot wait. So I think we might have, speaking of restorative practices,
yes.
I'm actually scheduled to speak tonight at the Board of Education. I'm going to be talking about the National Black Lives Matter at School Week of Action. And one of the demands of the National Black Lives Matter at School Week of Action is getting rid of zero tolerance policies and implementing restorative justice. And so I hope that we have our viewers that can either go to the meeting tonight or watch from the live TV of the Board of Ed meeting. I'm really excited to be there to testify. I hope that we will see some positive response from the Board of Ed in terms of the resolution that we want to pass again this year. We were super thankful of them passing the resolution last year for the Black Lives Matter at School Week of Action. And so that's something that we have been involved in Howard County for several years. And something that I know we're super excited
Yes.
to bring again this year. And you've been involved in it for several years as well. With us
Absolutely.
here in
And
Howard County.
absolutely one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I can't say enough about reiterating that Black lives do matter. And so I'm extremely excited about this. So, it looks like we have a question from an educator. So, it says, what connections do you have in HELCO that can make this happen? So we do have a lot of different connections in Howard County that can help us to implement the budgetary restorative practices and also to bring in restorative justice and also to help tie in our Black Lives Matter Week of Action at our schools. I know for one, we are both on the steering committee. And
Yes, we are.
And being on the steering committee has been awesome, and I will encourage all of you out there to hit us up on Facebook for more information so that you can join as well. We need all of your voices so that we can make the Black Lives Matter Week of Action the tremendous success that it needs to be.
Right. Also, we have the organization Racial Justice Now, which will be one of our sponsors of Black Lives Matter Week of Action. And they are an incredible resource in our community in the DMV area, willing to lend a hand and acknowledge working towards dismantling institutional racism. There are multiple organizations that are out there that we're going to be working with. We also have our Divine Nine groups that we're going to hopefully reach out to and speak with, the African American Community Roundtable, and several other organizations that we're looking forward to working with. And of course, the educators and the community members and students and the youth out here in Howard County as well. So on that note, I have to get going to the board meeting, so I'm not late and miss my slot. So thank you so much for joining us today for Lit Tuesdays. Lit Talk Tuesdays with Erica
And Jessica.
and we hope you join us next week. And we are excited for our talk next Tuesday. And we will. Oh, and we are running for. What are we running for?
Oh my goodness, we are running to lead HCEA. I'm running for vice president
And I'm running for HCEA president. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next Tuesday.
bye.